Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm taking us through a little review of round 4, and it was the last of the dreaded early buy rounds, so no more buys for anyone for a few weeks at least now. But even so, there were some good scores last week, and yeah, some not as big as the last few weeks, but some familiar names at the top here, guys. So let's get into some of the top players from last round. And yeah, a few guys that I thought popped off, and maybe, yeah, people didn't expect to do quite as well last week. So starting off at the top, though, for the round 4, we had Brody Grundy absolutely dominating against West Coast. I did have a feeling he was going to be going big this week, and yeah, he proved me right. West Coast just crumbled in the absolute demolition by Sydney Swans, and Brody Grundy again was having like 40 plus hitouts. Was just a big midfielder. I think he kicked a goal or two, tackling, marking, doing it all in the end. So Brody Grundy smashed it out in round 4, number 1 player for the round. Archie Roberts, big shining light for the Bombers in that pretty decent game in the end. Well, wasn't as bad as we all thought it was going to be. Not the blowout that we expected. So Archie Roberts was a good shining light for the Bombers. I think he had 35 disposals. And yeah, was just racking it up in the back half. Plenty of behinds for the Dogs. So yeah, defenders for the Bombers, a few of them on this list today. Marcus Bontempelli in that same game, we all knew he was going to go big, and that first half was one of the best halves of footy you'll ever see a player play, I think. I think he was on like 90 or something at halftime. It was very, very close. And yeah, it went a little bit quieter in the second half when it was all, yeah, done and dusted. A few other names getting in the middle, but Marcus Bontempelli, 130, good stuff. Will Ashcroft getting up the top here a bit more regularly now. I think that's the second week in the top couple of players. 120 plus again, 127 against Collingwood at home. There wasn't any Nick Dacos, so midfield was a little bit easier, maybe a little bit more formidable for the Lions to manage. But even if Nick Dacos was there, I think the Brisbane Lions were still going to get up. But yeah, a little easy going for some of these Brisbane players as well. Will Ashcroft, balanced as ever. I think he had 30 disposals again, just getting it done. Isaac Heaney, again in that demolition against West Coast, was just instrumental, just having a great day out. Kicked a few goals, getting in the middle, was just everywhere as well. Yeah, West Coast, unfortunately, getting back to their old form and yeah, just getting blown out of the water in that one. So we'll see how they match up in the weeks to come. Hopefully, they get back to that early couple of round form, the early round form that they had. But yeah, Heaney did a number on them on the weekend. 126 for him. Bailey Smith against Hawthorn in one of the greatest games we will see this year, at least, if not last decade. One of the best rivalries. And Bailey Smith, was pretty good in the first half and the third quarter and got up to 124 in the end. And yeah, he was having a day out. 30 plus disposals for him. Caleb Sarong, 124 again. I think that's the second week in a row. Got 124 on the dot against Adelaide. I think it was at Adelaide. And that was another cracking game, just winning by a point or two as well. So Caleb Sarong stepping up in the big moments away from home. That's always good to see. 124 for him. Zach Merritt, again, was doing pretty well. I think I saw him take some kickouts in that loss to the Dogs on the weekend. And he was in the middle. He was one of their main guys. One of the only midfielders I felt doing anything for the Bombers on the weekend. It was in the back half a lot. And yeah, Merritt was getting back there a little bit as well. So just helping out where he was needed, as always, was Captain Zach Merritt. Max Gorn, big game for him against Gold Coast. I will be the first to admit I didn't think he was going to have a big one. He hasn't traditionally gone too well against Jared Witz, but Witzy didn't have any wood on Gorn over the weekend. Had a few hitouts, but Gorn well and truly had his number. And I think Witz was, yeah, one of his worst games in a while as well. He had Ethan Reed in there, and a few other talls for Gold Coast. Not really having anything to say against Max Gawn. Another 120 score for Gawny. Lockie Neal winding the clock back a bit, had a huge second half at least. Really surged in that last quarter against Collingwood. Just, Lions got busy, absolutely shut them down in that last quarter, and Lockie Neal was just junking it up. So good to see again him getting up because he had a very slow start to the year. Tom Papley, who loves to play West Coast, 118 for him, kicked a bunch of goals and was getting just so busy. He's such an angry little man, but he is just, loves to play against West Coast. And put up a huge performance on the weekend. I think that's one of the ones where, it's just a matchup friendly one. He just knew he was going to go in and, be everywhere against West Coast. And he did just that. So Tom Papley, 118 for the weekend. And Dane Zorko again at the back end there of the beat when they beat Collingwood, getting junking up in the back half again in the second half, and just getting back to basics, getting back to what he's always done the last couple of years. 116 and a big day out for the Lions against the Pies, and Nick Dacostless Magpies lineup. So easy day out for some Brisbane boys. We'll see if Nick Dacos can get back into it next week for gather rounds. He probably will need to be there because it feels like there's no Pies without Nick Dacos right now. 3 Lions in the top 10 or top players from last week. And a few easier matchups you can tell there. West Coast, a few on this list as well. So we'll see how gather round goes. Can't remember who plays West Coast, but look out. I reckon they'll be in for some big scores. And here's a few of my favourite players from the weekend going. They might not have hit these high heights like the top guys, but good to see a couple of these names do well over the last week. Lachlan McAndrew, even with Riley O'Brien in the team, 113 against Luke Jackson. And I can't remember if Sean Darcy was there, but I didn't see him and I don't remember him. So Lachlan McAndrew seems to be the number one ruck at Adelaide now and is dominating. And I don't think Riley O'Brien's coming back. So huge score for him, 113 on the weekend against a pretty formidable matchup, I thought. So good scores for him. Any Lachlan McAndrew owners out there? Pretty happy. Kitty and Coleman having a very nice day out for the Lions again against Collingwood. Big second half at least for them. And Kitty Coleman, 109 in a big back half display. I think he was one of the main guys. They were just switching it a lot in the back half, and he was the main distributor. So good to see him tunning up. Another one there, Riley Sanders in a bit of a decimated Bulldogs midfield with no Libba, no Trelaw, and then Ed Richards was a late out on the weekend. And so it felt like, Bont, Kennedy, and then Riley Sanders in the middle there. And I think between them, they had 100 disposals, those three. So they were just racking it up against Essendon. Maybe a bit handball happy, but still just racked it up. 109 for Riley Sanders. Riley Bice, another Riley, 2 Rileys, and Riley Bice again was absolutely junking it up in the final quarter at least there for the Swans, getting some nice late round junk in a pretty easy matchup. 108 for him. Weird one here, Darcy Byrne-Jones for Port Adelaide was, I think he was the best on ground or best fantasy score for the day in that match. Found it pretty hard to find a best on ground in that game, but he ended up with 107 in the end. He was just getting some very sneaky marks off the kickouts, and I think he had like 10 plus marks for the game. So interesting one there for Port, but on the odd occasion, on a good matchup, DBJ does it again. Connor McDonald was a great effort in the second half and that last quarter against Geelong, getting in the midfield a bit. And he was making a difference too. I thought he was taking over from Nuke, and after Ward had done so much, Connor McDonald getting in the midfield in that second half was just, masterstroke in the end, and pulled it out in the end. The Hawks. So, oh, what a game! I was there, and just the rumble as the siren went. It was deafening, and incredible match that one. Logan Morris against Collingwood, another Brisbane on this list. 5 Brisbanes today, 5 Lions, and 103 for Logan Morris. Don't know how many kicked in the end. At least 3, I think. And yeah, just a big day out for him against no Darcy Moore down there for the Pies. Jeremy Howe was struggling. Yeah, a few problems for the Pies over the last week, especially against Brisbane at home. So yeah, 103 for Logan Morris. What a shining light he is. 20-year-old, full forward, gonna have a big long career and could be a Coleman winner one day. Who knows? Tom Sparrow for the Demons. There was no what was it? There wasn't any. I've forgotten his name now. Oh god, who's the other guy? Rivers. There wasn't any Rivers there, so Rivers is out for a couple of weeks. Don't know if he even played VFL. And if he did, he didn't play too well. So it was really Jack Steele, Cozzy Pickett, bit of Caleb Windsor, and yeah, Tom Sparrow, especially in that second half, really came good in a good win for the Demons in the end over Gold Coast. 102 for him. Jacob Farrow, so Sparrow to Farrow here, and Farrow was probably one of the shining lights against the Dogs for the Bombers on the weekend. Was getting on the end of kick-ins, was getting on the wing. I think he had like 9 or 10 marks in the end. And yeah, for a second or third gamer, that's a damn good sign. So 101 early ton for Jacob Farrow. Yeah, could be getting on a lot of lists in the coming weeks. Lawson Humphreys had a pretty good day out for the Cats in the end against the Hawks. I thought he was like the second or third best on ground for the Cats, especially in that first half. Yeah, it was just chaining plays together nicely, getting on the end of a lot of marks. And yeah, busy in the back half as well in a fiery affair in the end. So really stepped up in a big game, I thought. Joel Frazier there, probably like fourth banana for the Dogs on the weekend behind Bont, Kennedy, and Sanders. Especially with Ed Richards out, Frazier got something like 18 CBAs in the end, and far out. He looks so slick when he gets the ball. Sometimes just slow motion. Some people, maybe it's just me, but I'm calling him Mini Bont at the moment because just looks the same kind of play. Just smooth, slick, slow motion guy. And second or third year for him. And he is popping off. So that's exciting. And a couple to finish off here. My boy, Angus Sheldrick, had a nice big day. It was an easier matchup against West Coast at West Coast home ground. But Angus Sheldrick had a nice busy day. Had some good plays, was tackling, was getting lots of CBAs. And yeah, easy matchup in the end, I guess, but good for the confidence. And yeah, some of those plays, I'll have to see if I think he might have done something naughty on the weekend, though. Might have pushed someone or bumped someone in the head a bit too high. But yeah, he might be in trouble for the week ahead. But good signs for him getting in the middle and getting some experience. And 93, not bad in the end. Finally, here, I will say one of the best shining lights for the Bombers in the near future is going to be Zach Johnson. That guy is, just a speedy, very, very good kickoff halfback. And was getting busy in that second half, I think, after a very, very slow first quarter. Ended up on 88 in the end. So I thought that was pretty good. Just another shining light for the Bombers and someone who, in a very iffy lineup, could be getting a bit of it as the Bombers keep getting smashed week to week. But a little bit better performance from them on the weekend. I think we all thought they were going to get absolutely blown out like West Coast did. But they put up a fight in that second half. And Zach Johnson was a big part of that. So good to see him getting up there a little bit as well. So there you have it, guys. There's a few big names that I thought stood out over the weekend. Let me know who you thought had a very nice round 4. And thank God that is the end of the bye rounds, guys. Back to a few full game weekends. And I'll be calling them all weekend again. We'll be back on Thursday. And a few games. I'll have to pick and choose this week which games we follow. But like and subscribe below to know when we go live over the weekend. And check out some game day squad, guys. Use the code word MONSTAR to get some free packs. New way to play fantasy, collect cards, create a dynasty, and maybe even earn some money. So check it out. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like me on social media, and yeah, I'll see you for a preview of round 5 in the coming days. See you then.